Welcome to Shades of Brown. This highlights on the many issues affecting Africans and people of African descent. I'm your host, Ramato Adao Chekliye. Hi guys, welcome to today's episode of the vlog. I kind of needed some inspiration during the week. I had some moments where I was feeling down and depressed, and I needed to just be inspired. And usually once I'm in that fix, I am able to look at my favorite color, which is brown, hence the name Shades of Brown, and I just look at it and imagine that the earth can get so many things, can sprout so many things that are so beautiful. And if the earth can do that, I mean, why should I be worried? So I decided to wear brown today. This has many shades of brown, and it's really giving me the inspiration I need. I'm going to be talking about someone who inspired me recently, and this one is titled Getting Schooled on a Keke. I had just come out of the Jimeta Modern Market when this Keke or tricycle rider asked me where I was going. I didn't answer. As I crossed the road, he took a U-turn and parked just in front of me. He asked me again where I was going. I told him my house address, and he told me 100 naira, which is like 30 naira more than I normally pay. My arms were hurting from lugging my purchases, so I sighed and just got into the Keke. As we were about to move, a woman flagged him down and mentioned a location en route my house. The rider told her to come in. She had lots of things also, and it took time stuffing them in the space behind. When she was settled in, we set off. No one spoke until we got to the woman's destination. She dropped in front of a buka, or better put, a local restaurant, and her kids came running. As they teased her about coming home early from the market, they offloaded her stuff from the Keke. One of the daughters said in Hausa, "Thank God you're back, because all the food is finished and you need to start cooking." The Keke rider and I looked on the drama until they were done getting things out of the Keke. I really can't remember what one of her sons said, but it got all of us laughing. Well, I was so tired, so I just smiled. When we set off, he started a conversation. Now, this happened in Hausa, and though my spoken Hausa is tilted, I think this is an almost perfect replica of the conversation we had. He started by saying, "See how her children are helping her. That is how it's supposed to be." I responded with, and he continued. He continued by saying, "You know that food business never goes out of style. You can always make money with food business." I nodded, and knowing he wouldn't see my response, added, "That is true. No matter what type of restaurant you run, people will always come to you. But the amount of money you make is dependent on the location or the restaurant. And the fact that her children are helping her means that she will not have to spend so much money on, help and food. The children can eat from what she cooks for her customers, and that way she's able to save a lot." Now, this was him talking. I don't know why, but I decided to have a full conversation with him. I even went a bit personal. I started by saying, "You're right. My mother owns a restaurant, and when we're around, we help her out. And just like you said, we eat from what she cooks, so that sometimes we don't need to have food at home." I said this with a lot of excitement. Now, he asked, "Is your mother's restaurant in town?" I told him no, that it was in Abuja. He went further to say that because of the state of the economy, it was important for people to have some of these businesses so that they can make money. He then went on to say that many people were waiting for jobs that may or may not come, instead of looking for how to learn something based on the basic needs of people. By this time, we were passing in front of Adamawa State Polytechnic, Yola, or SPY as it is popularly called. There was this lady in front who flagged him down. He stopped in front of her, but it turned out she was not going our way. I didn't notice the bound project she was holding, but he did. As we set off again, he asked if that was her final year project or something. I looked out of the Keke and tried to glimpse at what she was holding, but as he pulled away, I knew I wouldn't say anything. I pulled my head back in and said it could possibly be her project. That was when the discussion got really interesting. He continued by telling me that graduates are the problem of this country. He said that they are very lazy and always want that 150,000 naira job instead of doing the businesses they consider petty and stuff. He went further by saying instead of doing the businesses they consider petty, that they would rather waste away at home doing nothing. That was why graduates are not the richest people in this country. My antenna went up pretty fast. Did this man just diss me and all graduates in Nigeria? I felt like I had to say something or do something to redeem our collective image. I responded by saying, it is graduates who have no sense that waste away. Many sensible graduates even work 2 jobs and manage their own businesses. But he interrupted me. Yes, he interrupted me. He said that graduates are very few and in between. The graduates I was talking about. He said most graduates were waiting for government jobs that will pay them 30,000 naira. That what was 30,000 naira? They had to feed, clothe, pay rent, and still send money to their families with that money. That how could they possibly save with that? How much could they even save if they were able to? I knew he was right, but before I could formulate an appropriate response, he continued by saying he wanted to tell me a story. That he had graduated from SPY, the very SPY that we passed, that he waited for 2 years trying to get a job, that the jobs were not coming. People would promise all kinds of things, but they would fail. One day, a friend of his came to him and told him that they should go to Calabar to find work. That he had nothing in Yola, and so making the choice to go to Calabar was not hard. That he packed up his stuff and they went to Calabar.
On the next episode,
that he had graduated from SPY, the very SPY that we passed, that he waited for 2 years trying to get a job, that the jobs were not coming. One day, a friend of his came to him and told him that they should go to Calabar to find work. For 2 whole months, he didn't make up to 5,000 naira. In fact, he said that both of them didn't make up to 5,000 naira collectively, that he washed clothes at 10 naira per item. It was my turn to interrupt. I was like, 10 naira per cloth? How did he survive on that? That he had no house, so he slept on his table and used his ironing clothes to cover himself. After more months, he raised another 700,000 naira, and that was when he knew it was time to fully return to Yola. That he packed up his things and came back home. He bought himself a Keke and started doing his business. With the Keke, that he was able to buy a land, to build a house, to get married, and to send his children to school. In fact, that he bought another Keke, the one in which we were in.
That's all for this week. Subscribe to the channel for more of Shades of Brown. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/Ochekliye. I'm on Facebook at Ochekliye, on Twitter at Remimah, that is at RAMIMAH, and on Instagram at Miss_Remimah. You can also follow my blog at www.shadesofbrownnigeria.blogspot.com. For inquiries, mail me at ochekliye@gmail.com or ramatoadaochekliye@yahoo.com. Talk to you next time. Bye.